What is good, everybody? So we're going to take a quick look here at Bitcoin, and looking at Bitcoin will give us a strong prediction of the majority of other cryptocurrencies in the crypto space. Now, the question is this going to crash, or are we going to see a new high in this market? Earlier this year, we were actually able to create and break new highs and reach a new price in Bitcoin and the majority of all other cryptos as well. We did have a strong bullish rally, and we're kind of right back in that same spot where it left off at. So what we're going to do is we're going to use technical analysis to really break down this chart and see the next prediction of where this market may end up going. Now, personally, I do think that by the end of the year, we may see some type of new high being created, but as a trader, as an investor, you're never going to want to buy at a high point. You want to see it at the next structural low or the next price where it's probably better for us to get into. So that's exactly what we're going to see here. We're going to use the technical analysis and the clues that the market is leaving behind. Now, the great thing about this is if we look at Bitcoin, we'll be able to determine everything else. I wouldn't say everything, but we'll be able to see the projection of other cryptocurrencies in the space as well. We know that Bitcoin being the main factor in the crypto space, if this is moving, it gives strong volatility to other markets, whether it's bullish or even bearish. So we're going to use this, use the clues and see what we initially have. So you're going to see a pattern in all of my videos and how I specifically trade. I personally just like technical analysis. I like to leave the fundamentals out of it because fundamentals are great, but a lot of what we need is right here in front of us. And I think we kind of bypass that a lot. So one thing, I'm on a higher time frame. We can't just use the smaller time frames such as the 1 minute, 5 minute, or even the 1 hour to get a strong prediction of what this market is going to do. So if we actually look at the history of Bitcoin or just cryptocurrencies in general, it didn't have much volatility in the very beginning. But as the years went by, you can see that we have created new structural highs, and I do believe this market will continue to give us exactly that. But before it does, we might have a strong sell-off offering us a better opportunity to invest and get into. Now, I'm on the weekly time frame. Again, just want to understand the overall analysis and direction of this trend, or this market rather. And we can see that Bitcoin and the majority of all other cryptos are in fact bullish. So we can see, at least from these lows here, since 2022 of November, we have been in a really strong bullish rally. And if we just look back over here, even though it is fluctuating around that price, we were able to create these highs even here. Those new structural highs is giving us a strong idea of what's going to happen in the future, because obviously, you want to get into a market that is giving you some type of action, some type of clear identity, and breaking those structural highs and just kind of staying at that range is a really strong clue and signal that this market may in fact want to continue much higher. It does have the volatility, it does have the buying power, and especially right now with regulations and new fundamental factors that come out as far as crypto is concerned, it may actually give us a lot more strength to the upside. But before we do that, let's identify where we should be looking to invest into, at least for Bitcoin, for a better opportunity for us. So right now, again, being on the weekly time frame, I'm not going to mark this up. I'm just going to identify the initial trend, right? Very bullish. We can see that this market has broken into these structural highs. But if we scale down at least at a daily time frame, we're going to be able to identify something a little bit more clear, stronger detail. What we are looking at here is we actually have a channel. If my channel, there we go, my channel tool, we have this ascending channel, right? So with this ascending channel, that's telling me that buyers are no longer welcome, at least at this price point, at these trend lines, if you will, this channel wall. And not only do we have this respecting, we'll just highlight those here. We have a level of respect here. Not perfect, but we'll use that as a range. And we can see the other forms of respect. And when we come back to at least closer to a current market price, what we can see right here is that this market did in fact respect that bullish trend line, or the top trend line, if you will. Now, if I go ahead and add some structure, because we can't just identify just the channel and use that, we have to have something called confluence. Confluence being more than just one reason or one thing giving you an idea at this specific price. So we're going to use a structure. That is just a level of resistance. I'm just going to remove this so my chart is not cluttered. Anytime I'm trading, I never want my chart to be all, cluttered, messed up, have 1,000,001 things on it. I want to be able to identify what's relevant, what's important. Now, what's important is that we identify that structure and obviously the top of that channel wall. So we have two things of confluence, two levels of resistance showing us that maybe this might not want to break above and buy just yet. Another technical factor that we can identify is this double top. Now again, I'm just using technical standpoints to identify or take the clues that the market is leaving behind to really determine what's going to happen next. So we have this double top, at least here on the daily time frame, which is a strong time frame, a high time frame, which will give us a really good prediction of what's going to happen long term. So if we have that double top at the trend line or the channel high, or the high of the channel rather, and we also have that resistance, that structural level, that's going to tell me that buyers may not have the strength to push above that just yet, which is a great opportunity for us. Because again, as a trader, as an investor, as a whatever you're investor, long-term trader, position trader, does not matter. You never want to buy at a high point. You would like to sell at a high point. Now, me personally, I invest into cryptos. I do not personally, day trade or look for any entries. I literally just like to invest at the right points. Now, for me, there are some great points for us to take a look at in order for us to, for us to get the best opportunity for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up a little bit more structure, at least here on the daily time frame. Now, the reason why I'm marking this up right here is because, as you see with a double top, I'll actually just give you guys a little hint, if you will. Let's say you have a double top. This is your resistance, kind of like what we have here on Bitcoin, and that market reaches that point and gives you an immediate rejection. But it comes back to ask itself, is the grass really greener on this side? Probably not. And it decides that it wants to crash lower. Now, we haven't reached this point yet, but in order for a double top and or double bottom to be confirmed, it must break the structural low. If it breaks that, then that's going to determine that sellers are still very much in the picture and can drive this market much lower. Let me get rid of everything really quick so we're not confused. I'll just redo this really fast, just with the upper channel wall here. And then we have our structure. Now, the reason why I'm depicting that, and again, structure being here, the reason why I'm depicting that is because we actually have not broken that low. Let's take a look. This being the low, right? This is a strong structure point. You can see that with these areas here. This was a level of support, ended up being a level of resistance. It broke above, ended up being support once again. So me seeing that is determining at least that this price level can be significant. And if it is not broken, meaning that the market crashes lower, not crashes, but sells off lower, hits that. And if we get a rejection from there, that could be a really good buy opportunity. Now, obviously, if that is broken, that is going to confirm this double top idea. And we're no longer going to be looking for that range to invest into. Now, where's the next best range? Well, let's look down here. Again, we had that channel wall. I'm just going to draw this out. Not the most perfect channel, but we're going to draw it like this. Now, obviously, I want to be able to identify the next structural point where I believe is going to be the best price. Just look left to get right. It's not that difficult. We can see this was a level of structure, a cluster of price and action here. Again, this is called price action trading. We're identifying the most relevant level of price and the actions that proceed from there. Now, if we look back at history, we can see that this was pretty much the strongest buy zone in relative time. So, strong buy zone. So what that's telling me is, again, if this market reaches this point, that's giving us as investors, as traders, a much better price, an opportunity for us to scale in and start catching Bitcoin or any other crypto market to the upside. And the reason why we're going over this is because it seems like it's far from here now, but as volatile as crypto and the crypto space is, we can see this hitting that level relatively soon. I mean, if we look at the buys from this level, those buys are pretty strong from each point. Even when we broke above from this price over here, we can see how volatile that market started being on the bullish aspect. Same thing here. As soon as it reached or came back to that price again, you can see how extensive or how impulsive rather that bullish move was. And the same thing here. We had another strong bullish rally. So this is the most relevant and important price zone I do believe that crypto, or at least Bitcoin, will reach before we look for any potential buys. So I'm looking at these two levels. This being more along the lines of an aggressive entry or an aggressive investment. I'll just put aggress like that. Aggressive buys, because that's going to tell me again, if that double bottom or double top rather is not confirmed, if this is not broken, this price level should hold. Not everything in trading or in the markets is 100%, but what we're doing is we're trying to predict the future. And if I can see that if the market has used this price before as something significant, it's most likely going to happen once again. Now, this would be considered our conservative or our best buy entry at these lows. Again, as a trader, as an investor, you want to buy at the next relative low and sell at the relative highs. Obviously, he's not going to be perfect, but when we identify it in this manner, at least with the clues that are being left behind in the market, you'll be able to see the bigger picture. Now, we're still in the daily, right? Still breaking this down to understand the most relevant price points, the reversal areas that we're currently at, because right here at this strong level of resistance, this is what you would consider a PRZ. That is called a potential reversal zone. So if my spelling's a little bit off, I do apologize. Let's do that. Potential reversal zone. PRZ, something very simple for everybody to understand. We can only really find these based off of a higher time frame, and we are or have already respected that high PRZ, again with the channel high, and now with that double top being formed, we should be waiting for this initial structure to be broken. If that's confirmed, obviously this next level will be met. If that is respected, we'll be looking for buys around that range. Obviously, if that is broken, we will continue to ride this trade down, or let the market continue, and then go ahead and invest at the next structural low. Now, if it does reach lower, that is absolutely fine, because we do have the bottom of this channel wall. If that is the case and wants to even reach lower and hit the channel wall, look what we have to the left. Again, looking left to get right. Not the best structure, but just identifying another point. So I personally do believe before it even reaches these lows, if it does break lower than that, I don't believe that we should be looking for strong buys. This is my area where I do believe that we should be investing into. Again, if it reaches that point, strong buy area. Now we scale down to a smaller time frame, we're not going to get the best ideas, right? Especially, I'll delete everything, especially when we identify where the market currently is. But if we're going to scale down to a lower time frame and use technical analysis, this trend line is very much valid, and we're right there. The reason why I'm explaining this now is because we're right at that trend line. Now, this is on the 4-hour time frame. If we get a break, even on the 4-hour time frame of this initial trend line, it's kind of giving it to us now. We still have about an hour and 12 minutes during the time of this video. If you look over here to the right, the timer is right there. We have an hour and 12 minutes for this candle to actually close and show us whether or not it's going to break below that trend line or not. If so, I mean, even here on a smaller time frame, just marking it up, giving us structural points and identifications. If it does give us that, we can see something like this, confirming that sellers are still very much in this market, which is, again, a great thing. We never want to buy at a high. We don't want to invest into these markets when they're at the highest point or price point, where if we invest now, we may start losing money as it continues to push lower. So again, if we're looking to trade this, we are looking at these structural lows to invest into our cryptocurrencies. Now, obviously, if we look to if this market does reach those lows, this gives us analysis around the board, right? If we have this being the determining factor of the volume of cryptos, that'll mean that XRP, Cardano, Litecoin, any other cryptocurrency, even meme coins, will then start building that needed volatility to start being more profitable. So please, during this time, do not invest into any cryptocurrencies until we reach the proper price. Without the proper price being met, I would assume that the majority of crypto wallets would not be looking that great. Wait until we reach these initial areas. Again, that point here, and again, this area here. Now, this is just a quick overview, a quick breakdown of what I do think crypto will be doing. Obviously, as this market develops and it starts leaving more clues behind, we'll be able to determine this a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little series out of this. We're going to follow Bitcoin and the majority of other cryptos to really get a strong idea and projection of where they may be going, especially by the end of the year. I do think that by the end of the year, if anything, hopefully even sooner, we should I wouldn't say 100%, but we should be reaching at least this structural low, at least this price point, at least back down to 52,000, right? Just roughly around that handle. If we reach there, I'm going to be investing the majority of my assets into the crypto space. So if you are invested into cryptocurrencies currently, that is absolutely okay. Don't put anything else just yet. I would say be patient. Allow the markets to develop. Let's see if we can get into a better price. And as this develops, we'll continue to follow this. We'll continue to mark this up, and we'll continue to get a strong idea of the direction of this market. Again, I personally would like to invest down here. So I'm just going to put Jay's investment points. Jay's investment. I know I can't spell. There we go. To me, this is the most relevant and the most, I would say, profitable area for not just myself, but for you as well, to start looking to get into your cryptocurrency investments. Now, obviously, if this area is respected here, let me just draw that. That could be a great place as well. But for me, the way that I trade, I will never want to buy or sell. Buy at a high, never sell at a low. I want to see the next lowest point. And that goes for any market. That just doesn't go for cryptos. That goes for futures, Forex, stocks, commodities, whatever you're trading. You always want to try to get the best price. And I do believe right now, this would be the best area, that 52,000 handle, $52,000 handle for that matter. So again, with cryptocurrencies, again, if we can see, let me just draw this back up. We are respecting a lot of price, a lot of structure. We're respecting that channel high. We are now respecting, again, the structural high, that PRZ, that potential reversal zone. We have that double top being formed here on the daily time frame. If we are able to break below that level of structure, not only is that double top confirmed, but sellers are very much within the market, and we should be patient and allow this market to just come crashing right back down to there. But it doesn't mean there's going to be a crypto crash. All that means is giving us as investors, as day traders, as retail traders, and investors, is giving us a better opportunity for us to make a lot more profits than if we were to buy up here. So again, I do believe if you are in the crypto space, if you are looking to invest, if you are looking at Bitcoin, this is going to be your better area of judgment for investment. So again, if you are looking to invest, that is the area. So if you want to stay updated, if you would like to continue to watch these videos and at least get one free signal in the Forex markets a day, go ahead and click the link below to join our Discord, so that way you could be updated and see exactly all the videos that we're posting, all the signals that we're posting, and the progress as well. And so that way, when I put another video out for Bitcoin and any other crypto, you're updated. We can watch this all together, see how this moves, and see if our projection is right. Because right now, if it does sell off, we hit that investment point. That's a beautiful thing to see, especially together, because it'll allow you to see that price action, or just trading in a very simple and basic manner, is more profitable and easier than anything else. Don't overcomplicate your trading. Don't overcomplicate your investing. At least have some guidance. And I do put out the guidance as much as I possibly can within our Discord. So make sure that you join that, so that way you are able to stay updated with any and all value and videos, trade, anything that I'm putting out for our trading community. I am trying to build this organically. I do want to have our community trading, or have our community full of just actual traders. I want everybody to bounce ideas off each other in our chat. If you have any questions, people there are very informative. They'll always be available to answer any and all questions. There are people who are dropping charts, telling you their trade ideas as well, and that can help you with your own analysis and also give you a lot of education and value in the long run as well. But with that being said, hopefully this real simple, easy breakdown of Bitcoin does give you some insight and a good projection of where this market may end up going, at least for the meantime. Obviously, as this develops, we'll watch, we'll see what's being left behind. Just because I have this marked up doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hit that point. Something can happen. We can look at the charts and like, oh wow, that no longer looks like sellers are in the market, and it does seem as if buyers are coming in. And I'll explain and I'll show exactly where I may be investing, and if that does happen, if anything changes, I will change the bias and actually illustrate where I do think it's best for everybody to at least invest, or at least look to get into. But again, this is my analysis. I do think that the area down there, the $52,000 handle, is probably our best bet for investments in this market. So that being said, thank you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you join the Discord. If you haven't, leave a like, share, comment, do all that jazz. It's really important that we grow this community out of just pure organic growth, straight value, transparency, and tons of profit. So appreciate you guys. See you guys on the next one. And yeah.